Hello and welcome to the show. The Cadillac Limo is back in Forza Horizon 4 in all of its, well, silly glory. I'm going to start this video by saying, I didn't realise when I did the taxi video a while ago, but the Limo is, well, along with the taxi, not a car that you can buy from the game. As far as I know, the only way you can get hold of these is from a wheel spin as a prize from that. I don't know any other ways of unlocking them. There might be events coming for them at some point. There might be Forzathon prizes at some point or whatever. But as it stands, yeah, you can only win these cars from wheel spins. So that's how I got hold of one of these. It's a silly vehicle. It's one that I like having in Forza because it's a fun car to mess around with. And things have got a little bit mad with this car. The things have got a lot bit mad, in fact. You see, engine swaps, well, there are quite a few new ones for cars. Vehicles, either improved engines like the Turbo Rally engines or new engines, or cars just generally getting different stuff. And the Cadillac has gone to the absolute extreme. This might have some of the maddest selection of engines I've ever seen. So, you've got the standard engine. You have got the 8.4 litre V10 from a Dodge Viper. There is a 7 litre V8. There is a 6.5 litre V12 from a Lamborghini that's good for 1,500 horsepower. There is a Quad Rotor engine, this from the 787B race car, and the racing V12 from the Ferrari F50 GT. Now, they are some of the maddest engine swaps you could have for a limo. And it's brilliant, and I'm going to put in a quad rotor because I can. I'm also going to make it all-wheel drive because it starts off front-wheel drive. In fact, this would become the most powerful front-wheel drive car with the V12s, 1,500 horsepower. Yeah, be the most powerful front-wheel drive car ever in Forza. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to make it all-wheel drive, and I'm going to have a quad rotor rallying limo because to me that seems like a sensible idea. There are no mad body kits. There is no wide-body limo, as funny as that would be. We don't have that option to play around with. I'm curious to know what PI we're going to end up with all of this once the car is fully built. Max tyre width 285s all round. I would presume not too bad tyre width actually on the vehicle. We're gonna want bits and pieces for handling's sake. It reckons 0 to 60 about five and a bit seconds. You know, pretty reasonable for a limo. It's going to be fairly rapid. Where is my V12 drift limo? Seems like a fun idea. For us, it's a quad rotor. Yeah, again, we're a quad rotor rally limo today, but there are many options. There's many options of ways you could go with this. It will go up into S1 class, £4,500. I mean, it's not exactly a lightweight car, but there we go. Engine. Is this any different to how it's been previously? Unfortunately not. I mean, it'd be fun to get more power from the quad rotor. Perhaps wasn't necessarily expecting to see much more than that. It is, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'll stick a drive line in the car as well, and then we're basically all done. Yeah, it's a lowish S1 class car, but this is more for fun than anything else. Perfect. Gonna cost us 100 grand. I mean, it's not the cheapest engine swap. It's also not the most expensive. Hell, the racing V12 was 100 grand on its own. Engine swaps aren't cheap, especially when you go, you know, to the more extreme end of the spectrum. Talked about it before, the Iron Knight's engine. Well, when you swap that into the Unimog, that is 400,000. So, you know, that's quite a lot of expense. That's not a sound. That is not a sound you ever expect to come out of a limo. It actually handles pretty well. I mean, admittedly, it isn't going massively far. I think I might have to look at the grip from the racing limo. Oh god, there's a signpost. And jump. I mean, that's not a great speed through the speed trap at 150 with a TVR Speed 12 or the Agera, but still, I think we have got to shorten the gear action. The reason why, rotary engine like this, all of that power is going on at high RPM. Admittedly, it doesn't rev as high as the F50 GT's engine. Similar, but not quite. Train! Hello, train. There's a bonus board up there that I haven't got. Shall we go and... As I said, this is a rally limo. That was the point of this. We should be good to crash our way through whatever bits of scenery we so desire in our limo. It is actually a pretty capable vehicle. Where is that bonus board exactly? Apparently it's here. Now, either it's the other side of that train track, and I don't know how to get to the other side of the train track, or I'm missing something. Wouldn't be the first one that has taken me a long time to figure out how the bloody hell do you get to it. They are doable. There's been a few that have taken me a lot of figuring out. Or there's like a hidden jump somewhere. Maybe I've got to come flying up here somewhere at speed. Oh, I think I've beached. The downside. The downside to Rally Limo is that it's quite long. It's likely to get caught on so ground clearance and overhangs. Oh, it's not a rock crawling limo. I'm going to say that much. Oh, hey! There we go. Yeah, there are some downsides to the Great Rally Limo. It's actually up on, it might be up on the train tracks. There'll be a way to do it, I just haven't figured it out yet. Not that. Oh crap, I didn't actually see there's a bit concrete. Anyway, shall we go shorten some gear ratios a little bit? We'll shorten those, and then we will go and do some racing. I guess 4.5 seconds. Let's just bring it all. There we go. Sub 4 seconds. 188 miles an hour. It's not the... I'd say it's not the fastest. It's not as fast as some of the cars that I've built. However, 188 is still pretty bloody fast for a limo. In fact, while we're up here, I wanted to do an off-road race. Makes sense, really, that we do that one. I don't think there's any interesting prizes, but I'm close to leveling up with an off-road, in the off-road category. I really need to be leveling up the road racing one, because I've got to the point now where I've done a fair few bits, and I've just not paying attention, really, and just building silly cars. Admittedly, this is how I have fun when it comes to... Yes, let's go and race with super saloons. This seems like fun. Not sure it quite counts as a super saloon, but you know what? Let's go for it. There are less categories in this than we have perhaps had in previous Forza games. Cars it's broken up. Yeah, it's got to sort of split a little differently. Things end up in like track toy category that would previously have been elsewhere. It's alright, it makes things... So that makes things interesting. You get an interesting selection of cars in most of the categories. This is an interesting selection. We've got Audis, a potentially wide-body DTM-looking BMW. There's an... Yeah, I mean, it looks the part. It's been out-dragged by... Gee, this thing really turns very nicely. Oh, no, don't go play with that. Don't go play with that. Now, I don't know if these cars are going to have rally tyres. I'm not actually sure how Horizon upgrades its cars when you're taking inappropriate vehicles off-roading. I'm going to presume it'll upgrade them similarly to whatever the hell it is that I've been doing, although apparently the Alpha got in trouble. Haha! We have snucked our way past, and we are up into a 5th place with the mighty Quad Rotor Rally Limo. Gear ratios are still quite long. I guess... Car's standard gearbox is very, very long gear ratios, if I remember correctly, in the Cadillac. Ultimately, this is not designed... Oh, yeah, okay. I think the AI might be struggling a little bit with their cars. Just potentially. There's a lot of cars in the wall so far. Right, come back here. Lemon Alpaca. I want to overtake your BMW of sensibleness with my Cadillac Limo of very, very not sensibleness. Still howling its way up the side of the mountain. This might be my favourite mad engine swap so far. I'm slightly disappointed. I haven't seen... Well, I was building an MX-5 the other day, and that didn't get a quad rotor. I haven't seen the normal rotary engine, the 2-rotor, as a swap for anything yet. It might be in other cars. I haven't checked every single vehicle, but in cars that I might have expected it to, I haven't seen it, sadly, as an option. We go around the outside of a BMW. It's almost worked. There was a little bit of leaning from my side of that. There was a little bit. This is actually a really good race. I think we're going to finally get that move completed. We'll now try and stretch the legs of the Cadillac as we head barrel, really, down the side of the mountain. It's a little bit less controlled than just, you know, heading down down a mountain. I'm amazed how well this vehicle is handling. I'm absolutely amazed how well the massive Cadillac... I know it's got appropriate tyres for the surface that we are driving on. This is not a car you expect to be an ultimate handling machine, and yet actually turns in really well through here. It turns in really, really well indeed. Smack our way through the water we go. And now we're on to, I guess, tarmac, slightly damp tarmac. As we all know, no. The alpaca's not allowed back past. We have to go around the outside of you, and we will hold that one. Could not make that pass stick with your sensible BMW. I don't really know how much speed I can get away with. I've got to be careful not to get too carried away, because it would be easy. We might struggle a little bit here compared to some cars with the weights of the Cadillac and perhaps the relatively low torque of the rotary. Either way, it's victory for the limo, the RS5. The RS5 came with me from the back of the field, so the RS5 was working well. We beat an M4, M3, and the Panamera ended up further down. I was not expecting that to be as nice to drive as it is. It's a really good car. It's a really good car with a mad engine swap. I don't think I'm getting a wheel spin, sadly, for levelling up with the off-road section. Oh no, further away. Well, I don't know what section it was then. I was close to levelling up. We get an Alpine when I level up with the off-road section, which is bloody cool. Some of the cars, like the Alpine, for example, are locked to... Well, I say are locked. You can get them off the auction house, of course. I keep forgetting about that. I don't think they go for silly money, some of these more locked cars. If people are selling their limos and Alpines, etc., or you got to win them from the various events. We'll have a go at a street race. Oh, I don't know if I'm the only one that does it, but when I'm looking at the map, you can see on the sort of mini-map, the arrow underneath the event is where the event starts. And if I'm driving around down a road like this, I expect it to be where the actual picture is. I keep overshooting constantly. Despite having played this game for quite a while, I still overshoot the starting zone constantly. I hope I'm not the only one. I hope I'm not insane. But, let me know. Let me know. I'm sure you will if I'm a complete muppet. Actually, no, don't answer that. I already know the answer. Anyway, circuit race. We're on tarmac. Of course, my limo perhaps not quite perfectly built to this. Rally tyres and rally suspension. However, I've talked about this a little bit in the past. I will tend to rather build a car with rally in mind and then use it for tarmac than build a car for tarmac and end up having to, or using it for rally. It's happier this way round. It's still pretty good on tarmac and then very good off-road, whereas the other way, it's slightly better on tarmac, terrible off-road. We're going to sneak our way all the way up the inside. I'll take that, because with the PI that I've had, this thing starts off in C-Class, it's very heavily modified. I'd be willing to bet a lot of the cars that we're racing here start off high A-Class, so they don't really get much in the way of upgrades, although we have seen that sometimes some vehicles bloody fast. Jaguar F-Pace turns out really quick, really stupidly quick in B-Class, I think it is, from standard. That did some embarrassing to a lot of modified cars. Or it can do. It certainly can do some embarrassing to a lot of modified cars. This circuit actually looking fairly straightforward. Limo's looking good. We're up to third. We're vanishing away from the rest of the pack. Right, what have we got? Let's chase down. Looks like, well, German saloons. Looks like an Audi and maybe a Mercedes of some description up at the front. Or is that... I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a Mercedes. I'm doing long-range car spotting when they're all silver German luxury super saloons. They do kind of all blend into one, really. We're fine. There we are, catching slowly, but not as an Infinity concept-y thing. Possibly. Don't know. Got to get closer and have a look at whatever it might be. Still not actually 100% sure what the back of that is. We're going to have a sneaky look at the inside of the Audi, can we, perhaps? Yeah, I think it is the Infinity concept car. Maybe. Yes, it is. There we go. The back of it does look like a Mercedes CLA? Apparently my car naming game is off today. Might have opened the door a little bit, let the Audi past. I don't know if it will ever not be funny, rotary howl coming from a limo. I don't know if it will ever not be funny, this. It sounds so out of place. Yep, it's always, I think, going to sound so out of place. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Where am I going here? There's a shortcut somewhere in all of that. Some chickens crossing the road. The reason they cross the road is trying to get out of the way of the mad cars that are racing around, although they're not as quick as you might like. The wildlife in places is very good at dodging out of the way. In other places, just seems to loiter in the racing line. Gets a little bit unlucky. Does get a little bit unlucky. One more quarter to go with the mad Cadillac. So, I mean, in this particular category of cars, seems pretty solid. Not really much in the way of challenge from those. A little bit on the downhill section against the BMW. On tarmac, it's better than off-road, weirdly. It's like being built for the off-road. You know, as you do. I think we'll do one more race. We'll do one more race with the bonkers car. Maybe it was street racing I was close to leveling up. Hopefully. Apparently it was. Nothing exciting, though, from that one. Up to level 18. We've got a navy blazer. Fantastic. Can we get... Oh, nothing exciting either from the next one. I just want super wheel spins. Really. That's all we're wanting are some super wheel spins because they're fun to do, pretty much. And shall we... You know what? Since I'm here, let's have a go at a street race. Let's have a go at a street race. Now this, the AI will just turn up in low S1 class cars, or they'll turn up in whatever you're driving. You do these in multiplayer, you're pretty much free to pick up whatever car. There's no real restrictions. A little bit of a shame that you can't kind of set these up to use these particular routes if you so wish. With whatever reason, the street races have to be done at night, so we're not going to see too much of what's going on. There is a trophy truck, so that should have enough lights to see. Interesting selection of vehicles here, from a trophy truck to a Caterham. A Viper is in the mix. I think, is there a Gallardo somewhere up there? Oh, didn't know what we were all checking up for through there. Oh, there's all sorts of... Yeah, all sorts. You can turn up with these races with like B and C class cars, and again the AI will race with you fairly. The AI are better than... Oh, that's a really bad day. Someone's in a drift... Oh, the leader's in a drift car. Of course they are. Drift Viper. Drift Viper for our leader. There was a Mazda 3 had a really bad day. Ooh, careful. Can't see a thing. Over there. I actually figured out while I was playing this, reason why I drive Horizon in third person a lot more than I do in first person, especially on some races where I don't really know where I'm going. Checkpoints, very difficult to see when you're in first person, especially in off-road races, and cross-country races are terrible. That's why I tend to drive in third person here, because you just get to be able to see checkpoints. So if you're coming up towards this corner, I know how much of the corner I can get away with cutting. The Viper apparently can't turn. I mean, it's a drift car. I guess it's not really designed for normal turning. But, yeah, trying to sort of figure out what you can and can't get away with the checkpoints. And just being easier to see them, I think, is why I tend to prefer Horizon from third person. Like, first person's great when I'm doing a circuit that I know, or a circuit, like, you know, if and when I get to do a build series when the track creator comes out. It's great when you know where you're going and know what you can and can't do. But when it's on a circuit you've not driven before, or, you know, only driven a couple of times and not 100% sure if you could, you know, maybe sneak your way across the grass a little bit on the inside, trying to look around with the camera to see, is tougher. Is certainly tougher. So, yeah, I think that's why I'm driving more in third person on Horizon 4 than I would normally be doing. This limo is an excellent car. Just going to put that out there. This limo has, so far, not had any trouble. If you need a car to complete some races on the game, I highly recommend a Quad Rotor Cadillac Limo if you can get hold of one. It's not the easiest car to get hold of, but if you can, it is exquisite. I mean, front-wheel drive probably not so much, but all-wheel drive swap, Quad Rotor engine works like a charm. That actually really does turn a lot better. We were beating... What's a Hurricane in there? Beat Caterhams, beating all sorts of cars in that. We were the lowest, not quite the lowest PI. The Aston Martin and the trophy truck didn't come last. Drift cars, I think, were causing a little bit of chaos in all of that one. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that Cadillac Limo is actually really good. I love the wacky engine swaps, but that is actually a genuinely enjoyable car to drive. It's a genuinely nice car to drive. I really didn't expect to be saying that, but there we go. Who knew? Who knew the limo with a quad rotor was the way to go? I'm glad to see there are mad engine swaps for this one. I'm sure once more people have had a chance to get hold of this car, we will be doing plenty more. Definitely plenty more with the limo. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.